Have you ever discovered something so shocking, so earth-shattering, that all you could do was smile? That's exactly what happened to Mark. He found out his wife, Sarah, the woman he'd built his life with for over a decade, was cheating on him. And not just a one-time mistake. It was a full-blown affair. The evidence was right there on her phone. A string of messages that painted a picture of betrayal he never thought possible. But instead of rage, a strange sense of calm washed over him. He closed the phone, placed it back on the nightstand, and a slow, deliberate smile spread across his face. Why? Because the truth didn't break him. It set him free. And more importantly, it set his plan into motion. Mark wasn't a fool. For months, he'd felt a growing distance between them. The late nights at the office, the hushed phone calls, the way she'd flinch when he touched her. He had hoped he was wrong, that it was all in his head. But hope isn't a strategy. So while a part of him was clinging to the image of their happy marriage, the other, more pragmatic part had started preparing for the worst. He'd begun quietly consulting with a lawyer, understanding his rights, and getting his financial ducks in a row. He wasn't planning for a war, but he knew he needed to protect himself. The text messages weren't the beginning of his nightmare. They were the final piece of the puzzle he needed. Now he knew exactly what to do. The next morning was surreal. Sarah came down for breakfast, completely oblivious. She smiled, asked him how he slept, and talked about her plans for the day. Mark played along. He made coffee, talked about a project at work, and even kissed her goodbye as she left. Every interaction was a performance, but one he delivered with chilling precision. He wasn't being fake. He was being strategic. He needed to control the narrative, to ensure that when the dust settled, he wouldn't be seen as the victim, but as the man who handled an impossible situation with dignity and intelligence. The game had changed, and Sarah didn't even know she was playing. Mark spent the day executing his plan. He transferred his personal savings into a new account. He scanned and saved copies of all their financial documents, mortgage statements, and investment portfolios. He even packed a small bag with essentials and stored it in the trunk of his car. It wasn't about revenge, it was about survival. He remembered his lawyer's words. The person who is prepared is the person who comes out on top. Each action was a deliberate step towards his new future, a future without Sarah. The pain was there, a dull ache beneath the surface, but it was overshadowed by a powerful sense of purpose. He was no longer a passenger in his own life. He was taking the wheel. That evening, when Sarah came home, Mark was waiting for her in the living room. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He simply said, "We need to talk." The color drained from her face. She knew. He calmly laid out the facts, not the emotional wreckage, but the logistical reality. He told her he knew about the affair. He told her he had already spoken to a lawyer. And he told her he had already filed for divorce. The shock on her face was profound. She tried to deny it, then to apologize, then to bargain. But Mark remained unshaken. His calm was his armor. He wasn't there to fight. He was there to inform her of the new reality. The weeks that followed were difficult, but Mark stuck to his plan. He let his lawyer handle the negotiations. When Sarah tried to manipulate him with tears and promises, he remained firm, communicating only through their legal representatives. He focused on himself, reconnecting with old friends, hitting the gym, and rediscovering hobbies he'd let slide. He learned that the ultimate revenge isn't about causing pain, but about building a better life for yourself. His smile that fateful night wasn't about victory over her. It was about the victory he was about to claim for himself. He was reclaiming his life, one calculated step at a time. As the divorce was finalized, Mark felt a sense of closure he hadn't expected. He had protected his assets, secured his future, and most importantly, maintained his self-respect. Sarah, on the other hand, was left scrambling. Her affair quickly fizzled out once the reality of a messy divorce set in. She had underestimated Mark, seeing his kindness as weakness. She learned the hard way that a calm demeanor can hide an unbreakable resolve. Mark never gloated. He simply moved on, building a new life on a foundation of strength and self-worth. Mark's story is a powerful reminder that in the face of betrayal, your greatest weapon isn't anger or revenge. It's a well-thought-out plan. It's about taking control when you feel powerless and acting with intelligence instead of impulse. While the pain of a broken trust is real, how you react defines your future. Mark chose to react not with emotion, but with strategy. He turned a moment of profound heartbreak into the starting point of his own liberation. He smiled when he learned the truth because he knew it wasn't the end of his story. It was the beginning of a much better chapter. So what can we take away from this? Preparation is key. While we all hope for the best in our relationships, being aware of your financial and legal standing is just smart. It's not about being cynical, it's about being empowered. Mark's calm came from his confidence, and his confidence came from his preparation. He showed that the best way to handle a crisis is to have a plan before the crisis even hits. True strength isn't about how loudly you can shout, but how calmly you can think and act when your world is turned upside down. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this story. If you found it insightful or empowering, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever been in a situation where a calm, strategic approach made all the difference? Share your experience with the community. Until next time, take care and stay strong.